Everybody, and welcome back to, welcome to, for the very first time, actually, I'm a little off today, Dark Souls 2 Let's Play. I said I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I'm finally going to get around to it. I've got a character build idea in mind based on Swishy Belle.
Perhaps you've seen it.
Which will hopefully...
Maybe in a dream.
Well, let me actually use that stupid death counter.
Forgotten land.
Yes, This is obviously the sequel to the incredibly popular and wonderful Dark Souls, which was in turn a spiritual successor to Demon Souls. All games from Software, I believe. I'm pretty sure From Software made all of them. I know that there was a different creative director on Demon Souls and Dark Souls from the creative director of Dark Souls 2, and a lot of people think that Dark Souls 2 is worse, in part because of the changes made, which are credited in creative direction, which are credited to the new creative director. Things like the maps no longer being quite as incredibly tightly designed so that everything fits in to real space in a really impressive way.
Your past,
but yeah, there's some definitely odd changes in Dark Souls 2 over Dark Souls 1, but I like Dark Souls 2 a lot. In fact, I'd say I even like it more than Dark Souls 1. Which...
None will have meaning, and you won't even
obviously,
care. By then,
I'm talking over the intro cutscene, but that's mostly because this is not a game where the story is really all that important. In fact, actually, the story is pretty subtle. There's a lot of story there, a lot of interesting background story stuff.
Long ago, in a walled-off land,
pretty much all of it can be ignored safely for the sake of gameplay. I'm going to try my best to kind of get give you an idea of what I personally think is going on as we play through the game, but no promises. Also, going to try and judge interest in this first video as to whether people would prefer to see this game streamed live or would prefer to just have me playing it.
You will stand before its decrepit gate.
Just because of the way Dark Souls works, I'm probably not going to be able to be very interactive with the chat, even if I was doing this live. However, some people like to watch live anyway because live is fun. So, we'll also find out whether or not the stream service will mess with the online features of Dark Souls too much. But all that is to be seen. So at the beginning of this game, we're basically being introduced to our protagonist, who is nameless and faceless, who has lost all of their memories and is now being brought to this strange portal, which I'm fairly certain is a portal that leads kind of from the real world into the time-displaced world of Dren Lake. See, Dren Lake is a really odd place. Like, in some ways even more odd than Lloydrun from the first game. Like, time just seems to have no actual meaning. Like, you are meeting people who are from different time periods all just coexisting in the same place. You know, some events have obviously taken place in some locations where they haven't in other locations. It's weird. It's a weird fucking place.
Your wings will burn in anguish.
Yeah. And we're gonna die a lot. And death has weird relevance in Dark Souls. Basically, in game terms, dying removes your humanity and disallows you from participating in multiplayer, either cooperative or being invaded. So the PvP thing. It also reduces your permanent life every time you die, so dying is sucky. Dying is really sucky, but there are a bunch of ways of coming back from being dead. And in the universe, your dying is a pretty key aspect of your character. The fact that you die over and over again and just pop right back up again, having lost all your souls and all your humanity, but otherwise more or less intact. And the reason for that is that you are cursed with undeath. You are cursed to slowly lose all of your humanity bit by bit until you eventually just give up on life and die. Or go insane, I should say. And then you die, permanently. And everyone else around you is also suffering from the same fate. Everyone is slowly withering away till they become insane and die. So, pleasant world, really. So I'm really used to playing Dark Souls with the PC mouse and keyboard, which is, I think, part of why I dislike Dark Souls. Playing Dark Souls 1 to an extent. It did not play well with mouse and keyboard. And even though I've trained myself to play with a controller, I always like to be able to play with mouse and keyboard. Though for the sake of a Let's Play, obviously I'm going to be using the controller because it is less incredibly loud. The keyboard, I find, if I have my mic set up as I do now, picks up every single keystroke in incredibly annoying fashion. So you can still probably hear like some button presses and stuff, but trust me, the keyboard would be so much louder. So, in here is where you get to choose your class, and where we will begin our journey into becoming the truest of Sweetie Bells. So here are these old women.
What seems to be the ruckus?
I'm not sure. So their voices are a little bit soft. I think that might be a mistake. I should have had that turned up. Oh well. You can read the subtitles.
It's an undead.
So yeah, these people are basically just kind of being dicks to you. They are the fire keepers. They should be tending to the bonfires, and I guess it's entirely possible that the bonfires being unlit when you first run into all of them might have something to do with these lazy old witches standing around here rather than being helpful.
You're finished.
Oh, screw you.
You'll go hollow.
No, okay, yes I will. No, I won't. I won't go hollow. I'll die. Yes.
One of them.
Well, no, okay. Hollow is when you die, you lose all your humanity and you go hollow, but like, hollow is also what they refer to when you lose your mind permanently and die properly. So I'll go hollow, but I'm not gonna go proper hollow. Fuck you. Fuck you. I do what I want.
What is your name?
All I want is to become the queen of Dren Lake. That's right. I'm gonna be queen. I'm gonna be queen. Hold on, I'm gonna have to use the mouse keyboard for this. Sweetie Belle. Man, I hope I didn't misspell that. That would be super dumb of me. Are you sure that's your name? No, wait, yes, no, that is my name. Ha!
At least you know your own name.
I also know I'm a huge badass, so yeah,
Here's
deal with it.
for sharing.
So here's how you choose your facial appearance.
Effigy.
Look at that, it's a little wicker man.
No son.
Who do you think it's supposed to be? I have no idea. Nicolas Cage.
Think back, deep into your past.
My mother.
Yes, it's an effigy of you.
Oh, that was gonna be my next pick. Okay, fine, whatever. So this is how you get to pick what your character actually looks like, what your character actually has, all that stuff. So I'm pretty much dedicated to the idea that I'm probably gonna play a cleric. That's kind of a given. There are other classes that I could theoretically play that could also make sense and stuff, but I kind of like. I'm not a big fan of the sorcerer. He's a little too. I'm just not a big fan of sorceries. Cleric I like because cleric has a very limited number of spells, but they're very powerful spells. He's more kind of supportive, and he clubs you with a big old mace. He's also kind of dumb. Like his intelligence starts out super low compared to certain other classes. I mean, knight, bandit, and I think even depriver is smarter. No, I'm looking at the wrong one. Oh wait, no, never mind. Cleric has got some intelligence. I'm dumb, but yeah, wait, no, what am I? No, never mind. I was right, or was I? Yes, that's. Wait, what the hell is that in or is that? Oh, whatever, I don't even remember. Point is, I'm playing Cleric because I like Cleric and because I think I can build a kind of interesting Sweetie Belle design off of Cleric. So let's start out with a... Healing Wards is kind of nice, but I don't think I'm going to need it. Life Ring is useless because you end up getting a Life Ring later on anyway, like really early. Demon Effigy is okay, but I'm going to be doing some co-oping because praise the sun! So I don't really care about that. Homeward Bone... it's alright. I think... see the Tree of Giants, I forget exactly what it does. I think it prevents you from being invaded or something. Bonfire Aesthetic can make an area harder, which can help with grinding. I might end up doing that one, actually. No. Turn to your last bonfire reset. Having one may ease your mind, but there are no easy journeys. I'm gonna go with the Homeward Bone, actually. It's a little bit naughty, but I kind of like it. So let me then change my body. Obviously, I am a beautiful lady. I am a petite lady. Physique. Not going to go with the kind of weird, muscly, old person look. Homeland. White. Hair color. Design. Let's go with this one. It's kind of got a sort of a... it's the closest I can get to curly. Yeah, the rest of these... I mean, that one's kinda, I guess, maybe, but... that one's closest to curly. Hair color. Let's go with kind of a pinkish purple. Light. That's I think that's a good in-between, I think. Yeah, you know what? Eyebrows. Whatever. Eyebrow colorations. Let's make that the darker. Eye color. Crap, I actually probably should have remembered what that was before I started. I don't know. Whatever. Let's just... Bicille. And just also make it purple. Whatever, I don't care. You're not gonna see the character's face all that often anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And I'm gonna stick this right in the middle of her forehead. Because that's how I do. Opacity. Incredibly light. Then in advanced settings. And I can get bothered trying to like mess around with her. Normally I'd screw around with the facial size a lot because that's just kind of how I do, but this time I'm not going to because it just doesn't really... I think that's... sorry, angle doesn't matter with a circle. Because it'd be a big waste of time. Like, again, you're not going to see this character's face all that often, and I'm not going to waste your time by watching me slowly go all OCD over that. Essentially, I'll make this a slightly different shade of white, because that one's a little bit... okay, sort of... you know what, whatever. I'm doing that one. There you go. It's not perfect, but there you go. That's going to stay for a character. And I'm going to be playing kind of a Dexy cleric. A lot of rolling, not a lot of heavy. And I'm trying to... my idea is I want to try and base the character around the old Dragon Slayer spear, which I can get a bit later in the game. But it's a faith-based spear, faith and dex-based spear that I will use for kind of a more dodgy style character rather than a tanky style character. We'll see how well it works. My guess, not amazingly well, but hopefully alright.
And trot along to the kingdom.
Yeah. Don't hurry me.
Hold on to your souls.
So there's a big motherfucker outside. I'm gonna go and try and deal with him.
Oh, I'll
Could be a really bad idea right off the bat, but you know what? You know what?
souls.
Let's do it.
All of them. Over and over again.
Oh, screw you. Man, they are just huge dicks. Actually, no, I'm not gonna go after the big troll guy. I can get a really good item off him, but it's just not... I'll die. I know I'll die. Oh yeah, since I pre-ordered the game, I have a bunch of DLC stuff. Though, actually, interesting point about this, it's not great. It's not particularly great DLC stuff. So if you're thinking like, oh man, doesn't this mean you can just cheat and play super easy mode? Not really. Really not really. I mean, like, I guess at best I can like put on one of these shields, which I normally wouldn't start with, but the thing is, I actually, with my basic default weapon, I can't actually wield this thing properly one-handed. I have to two-hand it, so shield doesn't even really help with that. Oops, hold on a second. How do I... Oh, wow, I really should have practiced this a little bit beforehand, because I actually don't remember how to dual wield my my own giant mace. So that's how I hit. So you can see I kind of have a sort of weird strike right now, and that's probably because I should not have... What in the name of goodness gracious bejoices? That's not it. Wow, I am super stupid right now. This is actually really embarrassing. That's not it. That's not it. That's obviously still not it, despite my best efforts to disprove that fact. Oops, do not want to accidentally break that. No! Oh! Oh! That's super not it. That was a wasted life gem. That was super dumb. Okay, it's double tap. Double tap is... Hold down is... Double hand is two-hand your right hand, your left-hand weapon. Double tap is two-hand your currently equipped weapon. One problem about this game being so focused on the controller in like a weird way is that there are a lot of buttons. Like there are a lot of commands that the game gives you, and the fact that it's designed to all be used on a controller means that they're really pulling double duty. I'm not going to do any of the tutorial stuff. It's free souls, basically, but again, I'm not really, like, as much as I'm kind of rusty, I don't think that any of that would be enough of a challenge for me to want to waste your time with it. Now, I am debating whether or not I want to go straight on into the big guys. See, there's two ways you can kind of enter the initial... your initial jump into Dark Souls 2. First of all, welcome to Majula. Oh, this place is gorgeous. Anyway, there's two basic ways you can start your Dark Souls 2 journey. One, you can go into the Forest of Fallen Giants, which is the way the game kind of sort of expects you to go. It's the way that you get the... here's a little secret. You go down here... And if you're not... This is basically useless for a cleric. But you can basically get all the cleric starting stuff, which kind of makes the cleric a little bit underwhelming in some ways. Yeah, you get a Morning Star and you get a cleric shrine. Okay, the Morning Star I don't like as much as the mace, so never mind. It's not completely useless, but you can get the ability to cast faith spells right off the bat, though you won't actually get any spells to cast until you complete the... Hades Tower of Flame area, which is the other, more difficult way you can start going. And the Hades direction comes with two main advantages. The first one being that since it is way harder, there are way better rewards right off the bat. And the second is that you can... there are two bosses in that area, and one of them is the old Dragon Slayer, who can get you into the first Covenant in the game, like the first Covenant you'll have easy access to. The Way of Blue, which I'm not really think I'm going to join. As I said, I've been doing the Praise the Sun joke enough that I kind of sort of am obliged at this point to join the Brotherhood of, to join the Followers of Sunlight, or, well, I keep on forgetting their name, but the Sun Bros. So obviously I'm going to join them, but that's not going to happen for a little while, so I can join another Covenant first, but even so, I'm not really interested in doing PvP, even if it's good PvP. So I got a Estus Flask. That's good. Another useful thing is you can get, right off the bat, a item that increases the potency of your Estus, but since that doesn't really become a factor until you actually have a lot more health, it's not really all that useful. The biggest thing is that there is a lady, once you beat the main boss of the Hades Tower, who will actually get you cleric spells. And that's great. Unfortunately, I don't have enough faith to use them right off the bat, but I could probably get up to that pretty easily, especially if I complete Hades Tower of Flame. So yeah, it's kind of a funky one. I'm gonna go there initially at least. I'm gonna show you guys what that place looks like, and we'll see together whether or not that's a good thing for me to do. But first, let us go into my inventory and pick up the Estus flasks. So Estus flasks are way better than the life gems. However, what they are severely limited. They heal much more. They're much more limited, and they get refueled every time you rest at bonfire. The life gems do not, but they are faster to use. They're pretty cheap to buy. Like you should never be in a position after you find the merchant in the Forest of Fallen Giants where you have no ability to get your hands on life gems. So the life gems, yeah, they're good healing items for kind of quickly healing in the middle of a fight or peeking off some of your health. And since you can buy them for 200 and there's an unlimited supply of them at the merchant, they're not too bad. Like, early on, you're going to have a little bit of trouble getting enough money. I don't want to read the message, I want to pull the thing. No. Yes, switch, thank you. You unbelievable... Ugh. Oh wait, do I even have to pull that switch? I do not. I'm dumb. That message is useless and an idiot. Broken Thief Sword, Soul of Lost Undead. Souls can be used to get you more souls, which are then used to... every time you beat an enemy, you also get souls, and you can use souls to level up, buy things, and do basically everything else in the game. There's a... Surprisingly enough, Dark Souls has a heavy emphasis on souls. They're kind of important. Oh, wow, that was super dumb. Oh, man. I am so not doing well right now. So this game has a lot of emphasis on this kind of thing where you're dodging, where you're fighting guys who will kill you dead if they hit you. But where you can beat them as long as you are good on the dodge and you're good on the attack. I'm going to drink this Estus because, oh man, this guy will kill my ass with one hit if I was even slightly injured. Whoa, jeez. Whoa, jeez. And you gotta learn their patterns. Oh shit! I did not learn his pattern. So you gotta do this thing. Whoa, shit. Good. Ow! Okay, yeah, they can kind of track your attacks. Jesus. Okay, and then you hit him. And this is like 90% of the game, is the ability to learn the patterns of attacks, figure out how you can get around said patterns of attack, using as little energy as possible. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And then, oh man, and then getting in there to kill them. Oh, there we go, and he's dead. And there's a little he's almost like a little mini boss because unlike almost every other enemy in the game, he does not respawn when you rest at a bonfire. Now, unlike in Dark Souls 1, enemies do have a limited number of respawns at when you do rest at the bonfire, but that number is still like 15. So, I mean, like, realistically, unless you're grinding or having a lot of trouble getting through an area, you're not going to see enemies disappear. Admittedly, on my first run through the game, I did definitely run into some areas where I ran out of where enemies sub-spawning, because I either was grinding them or having a ton of trouble with their bosses. But that is, again, not as frequent as you might think with all the people complaining about it. The biggest thing is mostly just the anti-grinding. Like a lot of people do them grinds, and that is not a thing in Dark Souls 2. I know in Dark Souls 1 it was entirely possible to actually hit the first boss only after you'd spend enough time grinding that you could actually kill him in one shot. Like, that's kind of insane. Yeah. That's sort of nuts. You can technically do that in Dark Souls 2 if you want, because, like, there are these things called the bonfire aesthetics, which I passed over picking up in the first area, in the tutorial area. And what bonfire aesthetics do... Oh, shit. Oh, man. What bonfire aesthetics do is allow you to reset the counter on the number of respawns the enemies have, and also increase the difficulty of the game in that one area where those enemies existed to New Game Plus, where everything is much harder and nastier and drops more souls. So if you're really dedicated to grinding and you don't mind an area being more difficult, oh shit, then you can do that. So again, I personally think that the ending grinding feature is kind of okay. Damn! That guy. His swings. Much swing. Oh, there we go. There we go. That, I mistimed one of those swings. If I'd run out of energy, I would not have been able to roll nearly as effectively, and he would have hit me in the butt. Luckily for me, he did not. So while I'm a little rusty, I'm not that rusty. And I'm probably going to be able to actually get through this whole initial area pretty easily. I'm not going to go after the old Dragon Slayer right off the bat, just because he's such a pain in the butt to deal with. Like, if you're dealing with him with allies, it's not so bad, but, like, I'm just not really interested in trying to take him on right away, especially because what I really want out of him is not the Covenant, because the Covenant, it's got a couple of things I sort of want, but nothing I really want right this very second. If I was a mage, then he'd have some extra spells that I could buy right out of the get-go, which would be great, because the mage needs as many spells as he can get. Since unlike the cleric, he can't actually kind of, you know, really fight without using spells. You know, right now I'm fighting without using spells. I should have actually healed there. I do have a couple of healing spells. I shouldn't have used a healing item, but whatever. So I want to try and fight these guys one by one. And what I'm doing right now is the boss of the area is actually in the other direction. But what I'm trying to do is... Oh, wow, that was not great. What I'm trying to do here is actually pull these switches. And the switches, what they do is raise platforms in the boss's arena, so that when I do fight him, I'm not fighting him on a tiny little platform where I'll fall off and die if I go in any direction. Because that's really not fun. Oh, damn it. I was going to cast a spell and then I forgot that I forgot what button you use to actually cast spell, which is the same button as swinging with an attack. Anyway, there you go. So right now I'm two-handing this weapon because I don't actually have the required strength to wield it one-handed effectively. But if I had the strength required and a half, like strength and dex plus 1/2, then I'd be able to actually dual wield these maces, which would be kind of awesome. So obviously, like daggers and stuff are a lot better for dual wielding, especially early on, since getting the required stats to dual wield them is way easier. But when you get later in the game, or especially if you're like building your character around the concept of dual wielding, you can actually dual wield some pretty wacky stuff. Like theoretically, you can dual wield just about everything in the game. Like you could dual wield gigantic greatswords if you want to build a completely ridiculous character. So I'm lowering this bridge right here, and this is the way to get to the old Dragon Slayer, which is the boss I'm not going to even bother trying to fight right now, because fuck him. He is annoying and awful, and I hate him. I don't actually have a white stone, so I can't actually call for assistance, which is another reason why I should really go and do the Force of Fallen Giants. But so the Ring of Binding is kind of cool. This, if I start dying, what this ring does is limits the amount of life I can lose from hollowing. Basically, reduces it by half. So instead of going down to 50% of my, instead of losing health every time I die until I'm eventually at, I can only heal up to 50% of my maximum, I can only be reduced down to 75% of my maximum, which is way less of a pain. Like, that's way better. However, I'm not dead, so even though I could theoretically put it on without any sort of real issues at this point, I'm not going to. Because even though rings basically have almost no weight to them, they still have a little bit of weight, and weight determines how fast you roll. Now, the roll speed is only really decreased from weight in segments, so until I actually start getting a lot lower than I currently am, I'm not really going to have to worry about it. Okay, can I go over here without him aggroing? Okay, apparently. Oh, man. That's creepy. So, go over here, grab whatever items in this chest, which I actually forget what it was. It is a green blossom. I forget. I think that's like... Or is it purple blossom? I think it might be cure poison, but it might be something else. It might be cure bleed. And dodge! And dodge! Ha! And, oh, ow. Oh! And fuck you! Ha! So I have no spells, and I have no anything. I don't have the ability to call in help because I didn't get the white stone soapstone. God, I am so dumb right now. Whatever. I can't actually call allies because I don't have an item that I need from the Forest of Fallen Giants, and I don't feel comfortable taking on the Dragon Rider, even though he's not that hard of a boss, with nothing but my mace and a level 1 cleric. So I'm going to play safe and basically say, hey, check it out. I just beat the Hades Tower of Flame in one go without using anything but 2 health items, which I probably should have used spells for anyway, so I could have actually gone through them without any reusable health items. All pretty much okay. Oh, I didn't even light the bonfire, which was actually really dumb, because if I died once, that would have been a huge pain in the ass to get back. But whatever, see, check that out. I just wrecked Hades Tower of Flames, except for the boss. So, what? You know? I just had that little mouse there the entire time. That was dumb. I also got enough experience that I can start leveling up. So the first thing I want to do when I level up is increase my strength to the point where I can actually use my stupid weapon without having to worry about it. So the requirements for equipment. Requirements for my mace are 12 and 5. Now I'm going to be doing a dex build, so I don't really care too much about having a lot of strength, but for the time being I definitely don't want to have so little strength that I can't even use my own weapon effectively. And that mace is a really good weapon. So the very first thing I'm going to do is level up strength. And it only takes 1 point to level it up, so whatever. And I'm going to use the rest of my souls to start getting up my dex, because I'm going to start trying to get a better dex weapon. Almost like that's kind of my goal. Actually, so some of the stats are healing, is how much health you have, how much stamina you have, how much equipment you can carry without being over encumbered, how many spells you can cast. I'm definitely going to be leveling that one up before I beat Hades Tower of Flame, just because I need those extra spells when I actually talk to the lady. Then there's strength, obviously, physical strength. Dex, how quick you are. It helps with dex-based weapons and helps with I think it helps with rolling. Adaptability, which is a big part of how you roll faster. Intelligence, which is good for spells, like arcane spells. And Faith, which is good for cleric spells. And I think I need like 22 to cast Lightning Bolt, which I'll be getting once I beat Hades Tower of Flame by getting to the boss. I'm kind of debating whether or not I want to start working towards that immediately, or whether I want to start on my dex immediately. I mean, I also have to increase my my aptitude to the point where I can actually cast a second spell before I can use that also. So for the time being, though, let's just start on dex, because I really want to try and get my dex up to 10 right off the bat, because I want to get a better... Oh, man, I'm actually waffling super hard right now. I might actually give Faith. Faith is not as useful for me right now because all it'll do is increase my healing spell, which I don't care about right now. But it will eventually help with my lightning, and I need it eventually to get that lightning spear up. But leveling up isn't that hard in Dark Souls. As I said, I just beat the Hades Tower of Flame pretty effectively and got about 3 levels worth out of it. So... yeah, I'm just going to go with Dex. Because again, I want to try and make this a Dex build as quickly as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to the... I think we'll do is go over to the... that is not the way. That is actually the way to a much later part of the game where I'll actually get the lightning spear, the spear I really want. But I don't go over there yet because I need a certain item. I need a... Oh, I forgot all about this chest. I need a certain item before I actually go over there. I need the ability to unpetrify people. So, actually, one thing I totally forgot to do is now that I can actually one-hand my mace, it's time for me to put on a shield. So I'm not really worried about parrying, so I'm mostly looking to what shields give me the best defense. This one does. It's not great. Like some of these other shields, like this one's way better at defending against magic. And dark, like magic, swords, physical attacks, magic, fire, lightning, dark, poison, bleed, petrify, curse. I think that's how much it prevents you from getting staggered. For time being, though, I think I might just go with this one. It's not, as I said, it's not amazing, but like, it provides a lot of defense, and I kind of just want that right now. So, time being, I will use this crappy DLC shield, and I'll probably end up replacing it with a plain wooden shield once I get a little bit further along. So for the time being, let's head over to the Forest of Fallen Giants. I'll get the first bonfire over there, and call this an introduction video. Then my goal from here on out will be to go to the... get the white stone, and using that, I will be able to return to the tower and finish out that area once and for all. Oh! Well, that was embarrassing.